it's Mindy from My Creative Scoop, and I'm super excited to be back with another video tutorial for Neat and Tangled. This month I'm using this stamp set called Floral Frame, and we're going to be doing a different type of no line technique. So I don't know, I just kind of came up with it and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I have my Misty and I've put down 2 stamps, and I made sure my piece of paper is all the way up in this corner. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp it in with a Versamark pad. So it leaves a very light outline so we know where to color. Get those nice and inked up. And now I'm gonna place it on my paper, push it down. And I know it's going to be very hard to see, and this isn't necessarily just a coloring tutorial. I'll have to reposition the camera so you guys can see how I'm coloring. But I want to get that good and stamped. So now let me get it together so we can do our coloring, and then we will go from there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and color. I know it's very hard to see, but you will be able to see what I'm doing, and we're not adding a whole lot of details. So we're gonna color the flower a red and an orange. I want to use some fall colors. So I'm going to start with my R35, and in the center of the flower I'm just going to kind of outline those lines in the center. And now we're going to go ahead and take the R32, and I'm going to bring that color out a little bit more. Now it's not necessarily important to stay in the lines because of the type of technique that we're going to be doing after we're done coloring. So it's going to have like a watercolor look. So if you have a hard time seeing from the Versamark and you go outside the lines, don't worry about it. It's gonna come out. It's gonna look really good. So now I'm gonna take my R37 and I'm just gonna define some of these lines in the center. And now I'm gonna go back over with my R35. So now we're going to take the YR12 and I'm going to start on the opposite side, so at the end of the leaf or the flower petal, and now I'm just going to fill the rest of it in. And now let's take our R32, and I want to have a better transition between the 2 colors, so I'm just going to flick out some of that red into the golden color. And then let's take some YR07. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a touch on the ends of the flowers. And then I'm going to take my YR12 again. We're just going to blend this out. And let's take our R35 and really pull those lines through. And then with the R32, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pull them through a little bit more. And then with my YR12, fill in that center. And then I'm going to take my YR14 and just add a couple little dots to the center. A little bit of texture. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and do the leaves. So I'm gonna start with my YG95. And I'm gonna go up through the center parts of the leaf. And then I'm going to take my YG91 and we're just going to fill the rest of the leaf in. And let's take some YR12. We're going to add a little bit of fall colors to the leaves. And then we're going to go back with my YG91 to blend it out. And let's add a little bit of the R32. And we'll take the YR12 and blend that out a little. And then let's take the YG95 again. We're gonna go up the center. And then the YG91, let's pull all that color together. Now let's take the E44 and I'm just gonna define the lines very thin, maybe even make a couple little lines in the center there. And I'm going to add a little bit more definition in between each of these petals, also using my E44. And then I'm going to take my E43 and I'm going to blend that shadow out a little bit more just to make it so it's not so harsh. Okay, so now I'm going to reposition my camera again and I will show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Misty again and I'm going to put these in the exact same spot so it's pushed all the way up in the corner, and I never moved the flower and the leaf that I had down before, so it's going to stamp in the exact same spot. Just make sure it's pushed all the way down. So now I'm going to take my white ink pad and I'm going to ink up the flower and the leaf, and I'm going to press it. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this a couple of times so that way it's nice and inky. So it kind of it gives it a little bit of a different look, more like a watercolor outline. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna let it dry for a few minutes and then we will die cut it out. Okay, so I've die cutted my flower and my leaves, and I've previously colored the other image in the stamp set. So yeah, I did it the exact same way, and now I'm going to attach these flowers to this card. So I did the exact same thing. I laid the outline of this flower outline border in my Misty. I left it there, took it out, stamped it, or colored it, and then put it back, stamped the white over it, and then die cut it out. So now let's go ahead and attach this flower up here in the corner. And then I'm going to attach the leaves right behind it. So there we have it. We have a super cute card with and using fall colors, using this flower and the border, and I love the way it came out. I can't wait to try this technique again. I hope you enjoyed this month's video. I will see you again next month.